Hi there, hopefully you can hear me. Hello, Hazel. How are you keeping? It's another hot one today, isn't it? Just ridiculously hot. Hi there, Kathy. It is hot, and I had my hair cut today, so I had it washed and blow dried. What a ridiculous thing to do on the hottest day for since mid-July. That was a sweaty job. Is it hot in Ireland as well, Kathy? I think it is countrywide, isn't it? I don't know what it's like in the southeast. I'm just going to give a few minutes to wait for people to jump on. Oh yeah, it was. It definitely was. It was just nice to have a bit of pampering, to be honest. Hi there, Carol. Yeah, I've got a little fan here on my desk. I don't know if you can hear it whirring away, and it's just given me just enough relief to get through this next kind of 45 minutes or so. I have pre-prepared a lot of things just because it's so ridiculously hot, and my hands are really sweaty. They're sticking to the paper, they're sticking to my tablecloth. It's not ideal. Oh, you're in Cornwall, are you, Carol? Are you by the sea? Hi there, Tracy. Tracy, we were talking yesterday, I think we might have missed you at the end of yesterday's live, how we were doing online meetings 2 years ago, and you joined me in those online spreadsheet sessions. And if I remember rightly, 2 years ago, that was quite warm at this time. Oh, Truro, very nice. To be fair, in Cornwall, you're really not wherever you are. I think you're not that far from the sea, are you? I love Cornwall. So what's everyone been up to today? We've got people who are working, people who are looking after... often people are looking after grandchildren, aren't they? That's my job in April. Looking after a grandchild every Friday. That's going to be my job. I hope you remember it fondly, Tracy. There was only ever a few of us, weren't there? Right, I'm just literally going to give another couple of minutes, just literally 2 minutes, and then I'm going to get cracking. We finished a baby quilt. Oh, lovely. It's been a long time since I've done any quilting, but I used to really enjoy it. Just while we're waiting for a few more, we've got 9 on at the moment, so I'll just carry on. This is the bundle, excuse me. Joyful Flurry cling stamp set and the Frosted Flurry dies. Got them out for the first time today, and I'm quite impressed. You know me, those of you that know me, I don't really do Christmas stuff. I just can't be doing with it. It doesn't float my boat. But actually, I quite like this bundle. Let me just tell you what the bundle is called. I do have my mini catalogue out, and had about an hour's play with it earlier on. I actually really enjoyed using it. I think I could have another. I don't really think I haven't scratched the surface with what you could do with it. Just trying to find the bundle. Here it is. It's the Joyful Flurry bundle. So this bundle is $47.50. So if you bought this bundle, you get your Celebration. If you don't know what's in Celebration, I can send you a copy of that. I can email it over to you for you to have a look at. There are some extras in Celebration as well. There has been a picture of that up on the Facebook page, so you just need to scroll back a little bit if you want to see what else is there. And if I remember, highly unlikely, if I remember, then I'll repost that, because there are some extra bits and pieces on there. So the Joyful Flurry, if you wanted to purchase that before Saturday, or before the end of Saturday, you need to just drop me a line, let me know what Celebration gift you want, send me the cash, and I will order that for you, and it will be here by the time, probably this time next week, and I can send that on to you. I'll send it on to you with free postage and packaging. So that's what's available at the moment. Oh, you miss it, do you? I sort of miss it. When they all finished, when those online lessons finished, I was quite relieved, because I've been working way into my my holiday. But it was nice in that COVID time to have contact with people. Okay, well let's get cracking. Like I say, I have pre-prepared a few things. This is a super easy stamp set to use. It's got some nice sentiments. If you do New Year cards, we've got sending you all the best this new year. Quite like that. We did. We had the Scotty dog, didn't we? Where's it gone? Did 2 Scotty dogs the other day, and I think it was Wendy who said that it could be a New Year card. So imagine you got this, and then sending you all the best this new year. I think they go really well together. It's a season of magic and wonder. Joyful wishes, I quite like that. Let it snow as well. We've got some nice snowflakes. All of these can be die cut. There is a die that goes with them. Let me show you the dies. I've had a real good play with these today, but there's so much more you can do with them. So in the dies, we've got some label dies that nest like that. I haven't used those yet. We've got, I haven't used this one yet either. We've got this snowflake, and I'll show you what some of these snowflakes do, because they don't necessarily die cut a snowflake. I'll show you what I mean shortly. But we do have more snowflakes. More snowflakes. That doesn't die cut completely. I don't know if I kept my sample of that. I can always dig it out of the bin if I didn't. Or maybe not. No, I don't know what I did with that. I might have it up here on the table somewhere. So there are 2 of those. These can be die cut. So that fits that one. That fits that one. And they fit quite snugly as well. So, yeah, so there are 2 of those. And then this one, I think, will fit that one. So they are, and they do fit snug. And of course, with it being hot, every time I was trying to position these on the paper, I'd push it and then lift it up because it stuck to my sweaty hand. It was very annoying. I'm presuming this is snow. I'm going to go with that. I think it's snow. Oh, and also there's a die for this. So I've been die cutting those. They're quite, I'll be honest with you, they were a bit tricky, but probably only because I had sweaty hands. So this label here will fit that sentiment. Not quite that sentiment. That one's going to have to sit on its own. And then this one will fit that and that. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few things. These dies, I'm going to show you shortly, do something quite different, and I've got something to show you on that. Okay. Now I am going to presume that you're just quiet and watching, but I just want to make sure that I can see the picture moving, so I'm presuming you can. Give me a thumbs up if you can see and hear me. I'm just getting a little bit paranoid when the last comment was 5 minutes ago. Yes, I've got things coming up on my screen. That's it. Brilliant. Good. Lovely. Right, let me show you the first thing. I have pre-prepared some stuff. Last night I was getting a little bit frustrated that it was just taking so long. I'll tell you what else I'm going to be using today as well, are these. Now these are, I'm trying to think what they're called, and they're really nice. Now I didn't think these were going to actually go very well in the projects that I'm making tonight, but actually they're fab. They are called glossy dots, and that is exactly what they are. They've got a lovely glossy appearance to them, and they go brilliantly with the projects that I've got today. Just watching, all quiet. Yes, hope you're all concentrating. I'm going to set a test at the end. And then the other thing that I've got as well, but I'm probably not going to tie it. I did try and do something with it earlier and I couldn't get it to work. This is the Tahitian tied ribbon. It's really teeny tiny. If I can get it to fit on one of my projects, I will. But if you're really good with ribbon, I'm not, then these will go nice on these projects as well. Okay, let me show you what I've got. So the first cards that I've got a card base, my normal card base, 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. Let's give that a bit of a burnish. And I think everything is small enough just to use. This is what I call this my standard block. It's a D block, and it's just like my standard block. I use this for as many things as possible. So I'm going to be using that. So for this particular card, what always works very nicely with snowflakes, sorry, my train of thought went there, with snowflakes, is Balmy Blue. Now I don't know if there is an embossing folder that's a little bit on the wintry side, but if there is, I would recommend that. I don't buy a great deal Christmassy. Some people buy everything Christmassy, and I'm one of those people that buys very little Christmassy. No, there are no embossing folders, I don't think, that would really go with that. But if you had something, I think I would recommend embossing that. So let's get that glued on. It was for me as well, Hazel. It was the only block I had for a long, long time. And then I got a bit of block envy. Whenever I visit my family, well, my in-laws in the north, they live about 20 minutes from Karen Egan, who you often see on my lives, or you know her as Crafty Karen Designs. But she lives only 20 minutes, if that, from my in-laws. So I tend to go and visit her either before or after visiting my husband's family. And I went to her house and we have a crafting session, big old natter, lots of tea, and she had all the blocks in the big block case, and I just got block envy. I didn't buy them all in one go because that's very expensive to do that. So I think over about 6 months to a year, I gradually started acquiring the blocks, and then got my block caddy. That was a big day. I just thought that was great that I had the block caddy. So that piece of Balmy Blue is 4 inches by 5 5/8. And then I've got a piece of basic white cardstock. I've already stamped some of this. Now that's smaller, so I've got a nice blue background around it. Let me tell you how big that is, because I can't remember. Just ignore that little bit of an error there. That's 3.5 inches by 5 1/8. I think I might have just taken 1/2 inch off. What did I take off? Oh, I can't remember. Yeah, 1/4 inch on 2 sides. So what I've done is let me show you what I've done. So I did these ahead of time, but I haven't actually stuck it all together yet. So I stamped in Balmy Blue and die cut that big snowflake and these slightly smaller snowflakes. And it was Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting that inspired me on this. I saw one of her projects using this, and it really was quite simple. 2 colours, white and balmy blue. And I think I was really just trying to overthink it. And when I saw her project, I thought, actually, I don't need to overthink it. It can just be simple. So what I'm going to do is stick all of those on, and then I've just stamped those snowflakes on there, and then I've just got the sentiment, let it snow. And I just think those 2 colours, just nice and simple. And that's what I want to start off with, is just simplicity. So I'm just going to start sticking these bits on and then finishing it off. So Kathy's been making or finishing a baby quilt. What else has been happening today apart from trying to survive the heat? I went over to see my daughter and my grandson just for about 20 minutes before I went off and got my hair cut. Saw my other daughter this morning. I didn't get to see my son because he was working. So I'm going to stick these on with dimensionals. Making paper candles. Oh, that's good. Have you been making those with Stampin' Up bits? Right, I'm going to get my dimensionals for those. Oh gosh, it's hot. I'm going to try not to keep saying that. Gosh, it's hot. Right, let's put this middle one on first. Now tomorrow, we haven't got through today yet, what I was thinking of doing tomorrow was using Celebration bits. Gosh, that's a lot of dimensionals for me. And then I'm off for a few days and then I'll come back, because Celebration only goes up to the end of August. So I want to show you as many things as possible. I've got the Rings of Love, is that what it's called? Designer series paper. I've used a fair bit of that. I've got the silver and gold and white paper. Now the other one that I've got, let me just get this on. This is what I really want to have a go at tomorrow. But my time is a bit limited to be playing with things tomorrow, so this might have to wait until after I'm back. Let me see if I can open this really quickly. These are the Tree Lot dies, and there is only one reason why I got these, and it's the caravan. I love the trees. I'll do something with that. Looks like that's going to be a dog, more trees. I've got no stamp set with this. It is literally, I've bought it. We've got bunting on there, the caravan. That's why I bought it. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it yet. So that might be something that I wait until after I'm back from my holiday. That is free with a £90 purchase. That's not in the middle, is it? You're going to need to go back to Specsavers. Goodness me, I'm not taking that off, it will just rip it. It's a bit off centre, isn't it? It's not a bit off centre, it's very off centre. So yeah, tomorrow I'll do something Celebration, as well as some other bits. Not sure yet. Haven't planned out tomorrow. There we go. So even though that's not central, you kind of get my drift as to what that is supposed to look like. So I need a sentiment in the middle, and I'm going to use this one, Joyful Wishes. I really love that. I love the font on it. Oh, I didn't stick that one down. But also as well, I'd be really interested to see if there's anything that you'd like to see. Whether it's a technique, or if you want to see a box, or I've got a nice, I wouldn't call it a fun fold today, but it is something a little bit different with the card. Right, let's stamp in there. I'm going to get the Balmy Blue out. It's a bit on the pale side, so actually no. I'm going to get Night of Navy out. No, actually my Night of Navy is getting a bit faint. Let's get Starry Sky. That'll be better. There we go. I think that Starry Sky stamps beautifully, with a really good quality stamp as well. So there is our first card. Oh, and it's not, no, I've not finished. My Glossy Dots. Now these aren't, I don't think these are Balmy Blue. Do you know what colours these are supposed to be? I need to look. That's probably Tahitian Tide, but I will check. These Glossy Dots are, oh, they're Pool Party, those blue ones. So Pool Party, Daffodil Delight, Gorgeous Grape and Melon Mambo. They're beautiful colours, and these cards as well would look nice in Pool Party. Pool Party has just got a slight hint of green. Oh, they are, Hazel, I kind of read your mind. Yeah, Pool Party, Daffodil Delight, Melon Mambo and Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to be using the Gorgeous Grape a bit later as well. Right, my tweezers aren't going to work there. Let me just get my, I've just seen the sample of that snowflake I was going to show you. I did put it to one side. Let's get my picky tool. And I'm going to put those on there. So even though these are Pool Party, I think they work really well. I think they're really pretty. And I'm going to go for one, a slightly bigger one in the middle there. So that's my first card. Hello there, Lizzie. That's my first card. I really like this set. Really like it. Really hoping to show you some versatility on that. But for something really simple, you don't even need to die cut if you don't want to. You could just stamp these on there. And perhaps with a little bit of bling on there as well. Just ignore my little splodge there. If you don't have the Glossy Dots, I'll show you what else works just as well. My old favourite, total favourite, is the Rhinestones. Rhinestone Basic Jewels. These look just as nice. And if you have some stamping blends, you can actually colour these in. I've never tried that before. That's the type of thing that I'd get in a total mess with. But you can colour in these rhinestones, and they work. You've got a little bit of blue bling and a little bit of crystal bling as well. Yeah, I thought that, Hazel, when I was looking at this earlier, do you think I could find my Wink of Stella? Can't find it anywhere. It is around, but I'm not sure where. I'm just going to have a very, very quick, now you've mentioned it, quick rummage, see if I can. I think I've got half an idea where it is. Oh, I found it. I thought about it earlier on and then I didn't do anything about it. And then you just reminded me, oh, that looks a bit splodgy. Let's get a bit of card, see if that's, oh, look at this. Just put a little bit of Wink of Stella on there. How pretty is that? Thank you, Hazel. I very rarely use this. You could probably tell. You could just put a little bit of bling on there. Like that, or perhaps on the tips of this one. I haven't had this Wink of Stella out. It will be over a year, could even be 2 years. I think I won this. See how pretty that looks on the ends and just how they just glisten on the ends. So a good tool to have in your stash. And if you're looking at building up your order to get to Sale-a-bration, for instance, if you're looking at the bundles that I've been looking at earlier in the week, so for instance the bundles that were £35 and £36, something like that can start to put your total up a little bit to get you towards that Sale-a-bration. You always yours that. Well, I think I'm just going to have to keep this out on my desk all the time now, Hazel, because I do love a bit of bling on my projects. So I'll tell you what's kind of missing on there. Let's just quickly do the ends of that, just to finish it. Otherwise it'll look a little bit lopsided. There we go. So that is our first card. So a very kind of not traditionally Christmassy, but you could get away with sending that for Christmas. Okay, I want to show you now something that is super simple, a real minimalist look. And I'll show you what die I'm going to be using for this minimalist look. It really is minimal. But modern Christmas cards now, you see that minimal look. And what I'm going to be using is that die. That die does not cut out a full shape. I don't know if there's anybody on the call now that's got this particular bundle, but this doesn't cut out a full shape. I'll show you what it does in a moment. This is something similar, as is this one and this one. They don't cut out a full shape. I'll show you what they do. This is my sample. I was cutting out some die cutting some snowflakes. So these are the snowflakes that I cut out, or die cut rather, using that. So that die cuts a full snowflake. But this one, this is what this one does. I don't know if you can, let's get those out of the way. I don't know if you can see that, but you put your card, I'm using silver metallic card here, and so it doesn't die cut it all out, but you can lift these up to give it some dimension, and that's what I'm going to do for my next card. So that's quite nice with the foil paper, and also with that die. I was just playing about with these. Again, you die cut it out, but it doesn't die cut a whole image. But what you do is you just lift these very slightly. So I was using my take your pick tool, and then I just pushed through all of those little circles and then just lifted those up. So depending on what you have behind it, you could have silver behind that, you could have white, but you would just be able to see what colour is behind that the more you lift these up. Now obviously when it goes into an envelope and a card, it will flatten it down a bit, but hopefully once they take it out, they would hopefully be able to see that these just lift up like that. Now the other one that does that is this one, and that's the one I'm going to use next for my next card. So I'm using Balmy Blue again, and I've got a basic white, thick basic white card base. Haven't stamped the inside of this yet. And I'm going to have a piece of Balmy Blue that measures 4 inches by 5 3/8. Now, also when I was having a really good look through what other people have done with this set to give me some inspiration, is that I think Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana and Pool Party were also used. Just gives that ice feel, doesn't it? So let's just stick this on here. Tomorrow I'm seriously considering setting the alarm really early so I can get up when it's cool and get some jobs done. And because we're going away, I've got some ironing to do. It's just not the weather to be doing the ironing, is it? But I am considering getting up at stupid o'clock. So I think here in Mid Wales this afternoon at 5 o'clock, even at 6 o'clock, it was 31 degrees. What temperatures have we hit around the country or beyond today? I've got another layer of basic white that measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/8, 27 in the Midlands, 31 in, is that Ilkley? Is that Yorkshire? Gosh, my geography is dreadful. I'm just going to have a look and see what my phone says it is here at the moment. What is it saying? So here in Mid Wales, yeah, we're 27, so same as it is in the Midlands. We're not that far away from you actually, we're probably about 2 hours away from you, Anne. Yeah, it's hot, I'm really sweating. So yeah, another piece of basic white card that is, what did I say it was? 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. And I've die cut that on top of it and I put it right in the middle of that white card. Hi there, Greg, didn't see you there. You're 77 degrees, which is quite nice. I don't know what 77, I'm presuming that's Fahrenheit, is. What's 77 in centigrade? Is that about 23, 24? Tracy's 26. Tracy's not far away from me either. It's a bit further north. So I used this die, put it through the die cutting machine. I've had to use my big shot because this is this wouldn't have fit through my mini cut and emboss. And then all I've done is just pulled these up. So I had to just push through those dots and then I just pulled those up like that, just to give it some texture. So this really is a minimal looking card. There's nothing all singing, all dancing about this. It is super minimal. And I'm just putting that on there, just like that. I want to put a sentiment on there, but I think what I want to do is use, oh, my daughter's trying to ring me. Now I'm going to have to decline the call and she'll think I'm being rude. So I just need to send her a quick message. I'm thinking of using this. So I just need to think about what sentiment I'm going to use. But I just need to let my daughter know that I can't talk right now. She'll think I'm ignoring her. So I'm going to get a piece of Balmy Blue and I'm going to die cut that. Should have some scrap of that somewhere. I was using a lot of that earlier. It is quite usual for at least one of my children to ring me when I'm on a live. Happens all the time. She's just sent a message saying, sorry, I forgot. Okay, let's just get this die cut. Yeah, I quite like a less is more card, and I think sometimes we're really tempted to chuck everything at a card. Some of the simple cards, there is a Facebook group for crafters, and it's called Clean and Simple. Some of the cards on there are just absolutely stunning, just because of their simplicity. Hi Victoria, you okay? Are those girls asleep? Right, so we've got that. Now I need to find a sentiment that fits in there. And I think this Happy Christmas will. Yeah, it will. Right, let me just have a... I know, it's awful. Kids don't understand, do they? There's absolutely nothing you can do about it other than just trying to keep them hydrated and cool. Hopefully we'll get a bit of respite next week. Right, I know my block's too big for my stamp, but hey ho. I'm going to stamp that again in Starry Sky just so that we can see it. I wasn't far off there, Greg, saying 20, I think I said about 23, 24. Right, let's see if I can, I'm going to do a little test on this because my stamp is a bit on the juicy side. Oh yeah, let's try that again. Now I might not get it central because I can't get my head right over this. So I'm just going to do my best with it. That's dreadful, but it is what it is. And I need to cover up a little splodge, and that's what we have. That's what we have embellishments for. Now, yes, that could be a whole lot better, but you don't need to see the top of my head. Despite the fact I had my roots done today, I'm not going to show them off. Right. So I'm going to do this. I need to be careful with gluing this down. So I'm just going to glue, I think, the just the borders. Yeah, the temperature is just ridiculous, isn't it? Your roots fell out, did they? Right, let's put that on there, nice and straight, as straight as I can get it. Let's just smooth that glue out. Oh, that could be a lot straighter. I'm really struggling to see things. Joys of having absolutely shocking eyesight. But I'm just here to hopefully inspire you. Has anybody actually started Christmas crafting yet? I know some people start really early, don't they? I'm not judging that at all, but I can't get in the mood for Christmas in August. I struggle to get in the mood for Christmas in December. But... Right, so I think rather than putting the blue on there, because I do want to keep this simple, I'm going to put a nice big rhinestone in there. Yeah, I can't. Made your 120 cards. Oh, wow. And Tracy's made 3. It's 3 more than me, Tracy. because I've made one. Oh no, I've made two. And by the end of this I would have made three. So I'll be with you. Oh, my card's a little bit wonky. It's doing my head in looking at it. I'm just going to put that there. Oops. Okay, we won't. I'm going to put that up there. I just saw that emoji pop up on my pop up on my screen on my phone. I wondered what that was. Greg's done 20 origami Christmas boxes, 30 to go. That's fab. When did you start those? Please don't say yesterday, I'll be well impressed. Okay, just a few rhinestones on there. So something nice and simple. I used this in blue as well. Wasn't as happy with it in blue because I wanted to have the blue background behind the white. But you know, this works just as well in blue. And I used this one in blue as well. This was really just while I was having a play with it. Really versatile set of dies, and I'm going to do something else with them in a moment. Gosh, is it really 9:15 almost already? So you can see how they pop up like that. Really quite different. I imagine it is, Greg. Very time consuming. Right, so got those so far in balmy blue. Now the other colour that looks nice, I think, with snowflakes is Highland Heather. But the card that I've made using Highland Heather hasn't quite gone as I would have liked, but perhaps not a traditional looking Christmas card, but it is what it is. I don't know about you, Victoria, but I'm just finding that time is just, I don't know what happens to it. You look at your watch and 2 hours have gone past. I tell you what I struggle with is my phone. I just pick it up and before I know it, an hour's gone by. It really annoys me that I do that. Right, I've got a different card to finish off tonight's crafting. And I have had to do some of this beforehand because I won't say it's complicated. It's not overly complicated, but if I was doing all the die cutting, it would be really tedious to watch. So I've started off with a piece of Highland Heather cardstock, and this cardstock measures 4 1/8 by 11 1/2, and then I've scored down the long side at 5 3/4. I've then got some Highland Heather DSP, and I wanted to pick the one that had these dots on it so it looked a little bit like snow. I didn't use this piece. I got a piece that measured 4 inches by 5 5/8, and I stuck it onto the front of my card. What I then did, once I'd stuck it on, let me show you. So I then got one of the layering circle dies and did that and ran it through the die cutting machine to give us that. Now before I did anything else, I then chose one of the straight edge circles that was slightly smaller than the one that I've used here, and I've just put that for the moment to one side. I love these layering circle dies. Half of them are scalloped edge and half of them are straight edge. It's probably my most used die set and I thoroughly recommend them. I've got the stitched rectangles and put in an order through for a customer yesterday, and I spotted the deckled rectangles. Why have I never heard of these before? They give that torn effect, and I was only thinking the day before, I wish we had a die that had a torn effect, and there it is. So I'm glad I kind of saw that. It had completely passed me by, and so I had to order some myself. So I've got that. The next thing I've got is I've got a piece of white cardstock. What did I cut this down to? I think I've cut this down to 3 7/8 by 5.5. But we need to decorate that. And I'm going to get my Gorgeous Grape because that's a bit darker. Try not to trip over my Big Shot. Oh, 29 in Cornwall. Gosh. It is warm, isn't it? I might have to pour myself something cold and go and sit out in the garden for a little while. Just to cool off. Right, we need a nice sentiment for this one. And I think I'm going to go for this. It's a season of magic and wonder. See if that will fit onto my block. If I knew where my block was. Oh, it's there, right in front of me. Okay, let's see if I can stamp this without splodging it. Okay. Oh, that really annoys me when it does that, but I'm going to ignore it. And then I'm just going to stamp a couple of snowflakes on here. And I'm going to stamp these very carefully and not get a line around them. There we are. And we'll have one. Let's put one up there. Like that. And we'll stick that into the inside of our card. So we can just see that. That's really bugging me. I can't. Sorry. Can't look at it. It's doing my head in. Sorry folks. Just let me sort this out. Okay. If it splodges again, I'll just have to live with it. That's better. I have to do my snowflakes again. Oh, I can't decide where to put it. There we are. And one more up there. So I'll put that in there. I couldn't have looked at that splodge for any longer, Greg. It was just looking at me saying, sorry, not doing that. Okay, so that is got a bit of a window going on there, but what I want to do next, I've just got a square rectangle. There's no specific measurement to this. Just need to make sure that it isn't any wider than your card. And that slightly smaller circle die that we picked out, I've just die cut that. Now what we're going to do with that is stick it to the inside of our card, so that what you have, let's just get that out of the way, what you have then is that, so you get that white border around it. Now I know that that doesn't fit in there, but we don't have cards sat on a shelf like that. They'll be like that. So when you're looking down into it, actually it does look like it's in the middle. That's my story and I'm sticking with it. Now this bit is a little bit tricky, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to slice a little bit off of here. It's a bit wider than I would have liked. I think I'm going to get finished just on time today. I realised I was really running over. You don't want this gap here to be too small because we want to get some glue on it, but I just needed to take a little bit off. But there's no strict measurements with that. All we need to do is make sure that it fits there so that we've got a nice border. So what I'm going to do is just run some glue. You can use tear and tape if you like, but the thing about this liquid glue is that it gives us room to maneuver it in place. What are you making tonight, Victoria? Right, I've just put that on there, glue side up, and I'm going to get it roughly in position first. And then push it down and then lift this up and then just move it. You've got, in this heat, you've probably got about 2 seconds, but you would probably normally with our liquid glue get 3 or 4 seconds till it's in place. And then I'm just going to carefully smoosh that down. Now if you wanted to be really clever about this, you could take another piece of DSP and then die cut a circle in that and then put that on there so that when you lift it up you can't see that ugly circle. I'm just going to stick with that for now. Now what I've done, if I can find them, here they are. You've got to do a blending technique and a colour challenge for hops this weekend. All right. So what I've done using this die, there's 2 of those, making the job a little bit easier. I've die cut some Highland Heather card and some silver foil card. The silver foil now comes in a 3-pack. I think it comes with brushed foil, mirror foil and a something else foil. Used to be able to just buy the silver foil by itself. So I've got those. So what I'm going to do is just start off deciding where I'm going to put these, and I just want them to run along the bottom and up the side, and I'm just having them go over slightly into that circle. And I'm going to do this as quickly as I can so it's not boring to watch. So have you started, Victoria, while you're online with me now? So I'm just folding these up a little bit. Let's leave a little smush of glue there. Best probably to stick it down first. Oh my word, see what I mean by things just sticking to your hands. That's it. And then once that's stuck down, you can then lift these up to give it some dimension. You can put some rhinestones in there if you want, but I'm going to wait until it's properly stuck down. Now tomorrow's live will be scheduled for 8 o'clock, but I'm going to see how that goes because I have a commitment at 6:15 and it should get me back home by about 7ish. That gives me time then to have some dinner, but I might have to, I might end up being a little bit later. That's as exciting as my Friday night plans get. Does anybody have anything more exciting to do? Oh, what else is Victoria doing? Emboss resist, okay. Getting very inky, yes. That is a bit of a messy one. I'm glad I die cut these beforehand. And then these silver ones, I'm going to do the same, but I'm just going to put those in between. On there like that. It's a really nice technique, but it is a bit on the messy side, but the results that you get are absolutely worth it. You can try it with all sorts of different colours. But you need clear embossing powder. Oh, thank you. It is, I think with die cutting, it's like putting aside a couple of hours and just doing some nice, gentle crafting. And I just want to lift those up to give it a little bit more dimension, like that. And then I also die cut those teeny tiny snowflakes. These were the best two that I could get. I did struggle with that, and then I've used the Gorgeous Grape glossy dots just to put in the middle, and I'm going to put one towards the top of that. You could go all the way around with that if you wanted to. I don't think I have the patience for that. So I'm going to pop one in there. I wasn't really sure about these. I think they're all right. And let's pop one in there. I really want those silver foil snowflakes to be kind of center stage there. So let's just let that dry off a little bit. And then I'm going to, where are my dies? Oh, they're over here. I want the bigger label die. I think I want the bigger label die. Oh, of course I do. And I'm going to die cut that in white. And I need to choose my sentiment. I think it's got to be this one. It's going to be tight, but let's try it. Let's stamp it first. Or card first. Right, okay. So I'm going to use It's a Season of Magic and Wonder again. If I can find my ink. That's Highland Heather, there's Gorgeous Grape. And then I'm just going to do a quick bit of die cutting to die cut that out. So bear with me a second while I do that. Check that it fits first. Yes. Good. Oh, don't worry, Anne. Hope your dog's okay. It'll be very expensive as well, can't it, a trip to the vet? This is being recorded, Anne, so if you want to catch up later, please feel free. I'm using the I'm using a snowflake bundle today. Can't remember what it's called. Joyful Flurry bundle. And we've been discussing how warm it is where we're living at the moment, so I don't know how warm it is up there. Now you can't get the sounds. Oh dear. So I'm going to put that there. I'm really pleased how that's come out. Also as well, some of the ribbon that we've got, so this is the, I can't remember what ribbon it's called, but they're also in a couple of purpley colours, so that might work quite well on that. What's it called? Orchid Oasis. Might look really nice on that. Now I haven't had a chance yet to finish off the cards that I did yesterday. I'm hoping they'll be ready before I take a few days off. Ah, you've got me now, Anne, that's good. Right, I'm going to put that on there. Everything's been quite wonky tonight. Oh, did I put that in the middle? Oh, just when you think it's going well. Well, to be honest, it's a bit like my life. I tend to be repeating myself most of the time at the moment, so let's just repeat myself there as well. If I hadn't said it, you might not have noticed. Right, I'm going to put one of them there and one of them there. And then we've got that. The repeating yourself Christmas card. And then what else we had was this one at the beginning. Thanks to Hazel for the suggestion of using Wink of Stella. I absolutely love that. So glad that I did that. I just feel that I want to put some more on there as well now. And then our minimalist looking cards on here with that really pretty die on there to give a minimalist look. Oh, let's catch up on some comments. Oh, well, I'm glad he's got sun cream for it, and he can have a nice rest after a really stressful experience. I took my daughter's dog to have his nails clipped. He got really stressed out, and he was very quiet for the rest of the day. They absolutely are precious. Yeah, please do, Anne, and let me know what you think. You'll see my wonky my wonky stamping and things like that, but you know, that's what happens when I do live crafting. So thank you everybody for joining me. It's as I said before, it's the same thing that I've said before for this week only. Order with me, just send me a message, and then whatever you order this week I will send to you with no postage and packaging charges. Yeah, if you want this was I think this was $46.50, I can't remember now, but that does entitle you to a Celebration reward. So all you need to do is just let me know which Celebration reward you want. Thank you very much, Victoria, thank you. Just hope he lets you use it. Oh, you have to have a treat in one hand and some cream in the other. Thank you ever so much. I am going to be back tomorrow, but like I said, it might be a tad later, so if you come here at 8 o'clock and wonder where I am, it may be that my dinner has just kind of spilled over 8 o'clock and I might be a little bit late. Oh, you're welcome, Lizzie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And tomorrow I'll try and do something Celebration, or find just keep with the theme and find a bundle to use. Not even thought about it yet. That's something I might do when I get up at 5 in the morning. I'm not going to get up at 5, am I? It's not going to happen. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow, 8ish. I might just set the event for 8:15, and then that will sort that out then. But thank you ever so much for joining me, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.